Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NasCard Radio. This is episode 244 of NasCard Radio, where trading cards and racing meet. I'm your pal Val. With me is the man, the myth, the legend, PSA, and White Castle Hall of Famer, Logan. How are you today tonight?
I'm feeling like it's a new track record.
You would be correct.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a great show for everybody today. We are going to talk about racing recap, where we have racing recap for the races here. And to kind of what Logan alluded to, we had a auction end, and we'll talk about that. And we'll finish the show with King's Court.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. I don't know how short it's going to be. We've got, a lot of things to talk about and a lot of things to unpack from this auction last night. So we'll see.
Yeah, and I was digging into the NASCAR radio archives to kind of confirm something, and then stumbled onto something else that it relates to today's episode. So it was a twofer.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and it's amazing to me that we now have archives.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say so. After 7 years and 21 episodes, we got a few. So
Yes.
had to go back to episode 36.
Wow, that's in the Wayback Machine.
That was 2021. So all right. Anyway, let's keep the ball rolling. Want to thank our sponsor, Panini America, and also give some shout outs to Kyle Katz, Misha Wines, Jason Freeman, Beans Ballcar Blog, Chase Blaylock, Herman Bryant, Robbie's Hobbies, and Scott Boys for the YouTube and Rumble comments. We read them, so please leave them.
Hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Dunruss. I was just checking, slated for July 16th,
Well,
2025.
no, as we record, that is less than a week away. So that's great.
And hopefully hit before the National. So hopefully this is the last subject to change. So date subject to change.
I'll be definitely buying some at the National, and hopefully, maybe get a free box for me and you from the Panini booth.
I just hope they bring them because
I,
sometimes the
I
deal that
know.
they don't bring NASCAR, man, the old day. I'm gonna go off topic real. What the old days when they all brought all kinds of NASCAR wax and they're
Yeah,
blowing stuff out, blasters. Yep,
yeah. They had pack wars and all that kind of stuff.
silver packs for Dunruss and I don't know what, I can't remember, Victory Lane or other stuff. Anyway, let's get to the racing recap so we can spend our time elsewhere
All right.
for the good stuff. All right, over in the Craftsman Truck Series, they are still vacationing. Race number 17 will be the T Sport 200 Lucas Oil Indianapolis Raceway Park, Friday, July 26th at 8 p.m. Friday night race. So we still have a little bit to go for them. Over the Xfinity Series, that was race number 18. That was the Loop 110, Saturday, July 5th at Chicago Street Race. Shane Van Gisbergen was our winner. Highest finished rookie was Connor Zilg at position 2.
Yeah, that was a great race.
It was a great race. A lot
Uh,
of beating and banging their
oh
teammates and
God,
stuff.
no kidding.
I would love to have been
Yeah,
in the office there on Monday morning, but
yeah. The team meeting, but I think Connor Zilisch. I heard him on NASCAR radio. He was talking about that. He's fine, and that him and SVG are okay now. Everything is good between them. He go after he looked at everything, he realized that he really didn't hit him, uh, you know, really that much at all, and he really didn't shove him into the fence or anything like that. So cooler heads have finally prevailed, and I think I think they hugged.
well, that's good. So we talked about SVG quite a bit here. His first cards, he had the card back in 2013, the V8 Supercars, the two on the right, driver and the car card. And then he started having cards in 2024, Dunruss. He has two cards there with different parallels. He's in the Burning Rubber and Dunruss as well. He has an optic card and optic signatures. He's in 2024 Panini Select card number 29, 129, and 229. He's also in 2024 Panini Prism card number 87, and if you remember, there's a driver card in Prism and a car card in Prism. So he has parallels for both of those.
Yes.
And then, not to be outdone, also in 2024 Panini National Treasures card number 26 and Treasured Moments as well.
Sweet.
And for Connor Zilisch, you know what they say, right?
Yeah, to build a nice or to build a great race team, it takes a Zilisch.
Exactly.
Yes.
His first cards, 2024 Panini Instant card number 4, had a print run of only 230 base cards. There's also uh, a Jungle numbered out of 25, a Jaguar out of 10, White Tiger out of 5, the Blue Viper is a 101, and there's two autos. The Jaguar is out of 10, and the Blue Viper is a 101 auto.
Yeah, that's actually now become a very big card.
Yeah, I've seen them going on eBay. They're about 50, 40, 50, $60 for the base.
Yeah,
So,
I'm glad we stocked up and saved.
yeah. And of course, if you listen to the show, yeah, you would have known about the Panini instance back then. So, of course, speaking of Panini instance, there's nothing out there this week. So, but if you're new to the show, we usually check on the on-demand stuff.
Yeah, we were hoping we'd heard maybe it might be on before we started recording tonight, but didn't quite make it.
That's right. Get some SVGs. Next race in the Xfinity Series, that's going to be race number 19, and that's going to be the Pit Boss Food Max 250 at Sonoma Raceway, Saturday, July 12th at 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, a few
And
days
then,
from now.
yeah, and then moving over to the Cup Series, that was race number 19. That was the Grant Park 165, Sunday, July 6th, Chicago Street Race. Shane Van Gisbergen was our winner, highest finisher rookie. Shane Van Gisbergen,
Yep.
position 1. So, and for those who don't remember, uh, you can find SVG in the 2024 products.
Yes, yeah. Just rewind or go back, and you can see what products he was in or is in this year or last year.
Exactly. So it's a SVG racing recap here.
Yeah,
Next race number 20, is going to be the Toyota Save Mart 350 at Sonoma Raceway, Sunday, July 13th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
or as Jeff Gordon calls it, Nasnoma.
Okay.
I actually have that recorded on my iPad.
He maybe
They called it Nasnoma.
hanging out his winery over there. moving over,
Maybe.
moving over to IndyCar, that was the Honda Indy 200 at Mid Ohio. Scott Dixon was our winner.
Yeah, go Scott Dixon. Finally, we got somebody different.
Other than Kyle, named Kyle and Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Scott in a while. He has cards. He has first card is 2003, that Formula card number 70, the one on the right. And then in 2007, Rittenhouse in the Racing League, the three card set on the bottom there. That's card 10, 11, and 12. I really like how Rittenhouse did that. And they look great in pages when you put those in pages, by the way. And then he has a autograph in 2007 as well. And then the Shades of Victory insert R6, and that is the front back there at the middle there.
You know, looking at his auto, that I kind of get some Danica vibes from that.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Now that you say that, yep. It's actually like backwards, right?
It kind of is.
So the yeah, yeah, very good observation there.
Yeah. So every once in a while, blind squirrel finds a nut.
Every once in a while, yes. Next race, race 11 and 12. There is a race on Saturday, the 12th at Iowa, the Hy-Vee IndyCar weekend race number 1, and then a race Sunday, and you'll never guess what the name of it is. That's right. If
Hmm.
you guess Hy-Vee IndyCar weekend race number 2, you would be correct.
Wow.
So it's a
Double
doubleheader.
header.
They're only running 17 races this year, and so 11 and 12 back to back this weekend.
That is kind of cool, though. I wish NASCAR would do something like that. Have cup races back to back like that. That would be awesome.
Yeah. And so that is it for racing recap.
Oh, cool. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Our next topic,
Mm. Big elephant in the room.
the big one. Yes. I guess you know what we can watch a little bit of watch the watch party we had yesterday of it and get some of the excitement again for that here. So let me add that to
Yeah.
this
For the
screen.
88 Maxx Earnhardt Auto, graded by Beckett.
Yeah, graded by Becker. It is from the 1997, and I guess we can talk about that after maybe we'll talk about it after this. Let me run this real quick here and make sure you can hear it.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Everybody's waiting on those last second bids here in the last 5 seconds, whatever those snipes are. So
We'll see. Oh, boy.
yeah, so it's
This is going to
currently at I
be.
think 6,500.
My heart's actually pounding pretty fast right now.
10
It's exciting. Here we
seconds.
go. We're gonna count it down. 10,
Oh,
7,000, 6,
wow.
5, 4, 3, 9,
Whoa.
7,900, $10,600.
Oh, my God.
And winner is $10,603. That
Wow.
was yeah.
That seemed like yesterday.
It did seem like yesterday, and of course, like if you're like the underbidder, and that it went down to zero, you know.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. The underbidder was actually on the watch party with us. His name is Rich. That's all I'll say. And I think he's got a few regrets this morning. Had
Well,
some regrets this morning when he woke up.
well, I wasn't necessarily singling him out. I was just saying everybody in general,
Well,
kind of after going through because at the watch party we talked about the pedigree of this. There's 88 Max, and we're familiar with that, and we're familiar with the 1988 Maxx Earnhardt with the at a 999, right? That came from the 94 Max Medallion. And this, on the other hand, is numbered at 100 and signed, but these were out of the 1997 Max cards, but these were produced by Upper Deck. And basically, real quickly, there's a line there that says Dale Earnhardt autograph cards, hand numbered, 50 hand numbered cards. So there's 50 there. And then also in the 1997 year in review, it says there in the look for a hand numbered 1988 Dale Earnhardt autograph card inside. And then on the left hand side, you can see 50 hand numbered cards randomly inserted as well. So this is where this is coming from. This is when Upper Deck took over the Max name and produced cards and kind of kicked that off. They did this promotion.
yeah. I remember, that year in review set. I remember seeing some of those at the National a few years ago, and I think you saw him too. And when it was, I think it was the last national you went to. I guess it was in Chicago 2 years ago. And it was that guy that had all those like loose packs for like
I know exactly
for
what
a
you're talking
dollar or
about.
whatever. He had one of those boxes off to the side, and I thought about buying it, and I never did. And I don't think you bought it either. So
Mm-mm.
it was, and nobody thought to buy it. I don't think he wanted much, maybe 10, $12 or something. It wasn't a whole lot of money. So, you never know, man.
You don't know, and I kind of unearthed a little bit of information about it today. Again, totally separate because at this Earnhardt being a 10,600, I couldn't remember. A few years ago we had the 1972 STP Richard Petty PSA 9 sale, and I thought it went for like 10, and thought it went for 15. So I went into the archives, and sure enough, you were right. It was 15,000. That's yeah. I gotta give you credit there. So
Yeah, but see, I forget what I'm going for downstairs by the time I get downstairs, but I can remember that.
well, same with me and some of that. But on that episode, I talked about there was an auction for a unredeemed 1997 redemption for one of those 1988 Maxx Earnhardt autographs. So I'm like, what are the odds? So I thought we can play that just to kind of get some of that because it offers some clues, but then also ask some more questions. So let me share this here and put this on the thing, and we'll talk about this. We'll pick it up and
I guess it's a heartache auction. Somebody was selling that. So 1997 in the Maxx set 1997 year in review, there were factory sets and packs, and it says look for a hand number 1988 Dale Earnhardt autograph card inside. Maxx and Upper Deck, or I guess Upper Deck had acquired Maxx or the assets of Maxx, and they produced 100 of the 88 Maxx cards, autographed and numbered, and the backs have numbered out of 100 on them, and Dale Earnhardt Sr. signed them. But it was a redemption, and so I saw on eBay the redemption, unclaimed redemption for the 1988 Dale Earnhardt card autograph. So this redemption card entitles you to a rare Maxx Racing Cards 1988 Dale Earnhardt card from his own private collection. Only 97 of these cards have been autographed by Dale himself and released. To receive your card, return this certificate via registered mail to the address. All redemptions must be received on or before November 30th, 1996. Thank you for purchasing Maxx Race Cards, and again, congratulations. And it's signed by the president of Maxx Racing Cards at the time. And then it's also got looks like a seal in that redemption card. So it's kind of interesting, though, that it says by 1996, but it's in the 1997 year in review set that says that. So I'll have to try to see if I can find any more information about that. Kind of throws up some flags there. But if you look at even a blaster box, or was this a reach box, it says look for 1988 Maxx Dale Earnhardt autograph cards inside. But anyway, that was kind of a heartache to have that redemption. I think that redemption, actually, unused redemption, sold for $200. That's right up there with, opening a 2000 football product and get a redemption for Tom Brady that cannot be redeemed. So that is definitely a heartache. But just so everybody knows, we're seeing pricing increase.
Go ahead.
what?
Go ahead and make your comments.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So I got some questions answered, but then I also have more questions. Right. So some of the key takeaways that I, you know, pulled from this was that there were 100 autos, but and they came from Dale Earnhardt's collection, and only 97 of them were, I guess, used or whatever for the redemption. Right? They expired November 30th of 1996. Now, I showed the boxes for 97 Maxx and then 97 year in review. So, uh, even on a good day, the 97 Maxx might have come out, even if it was early 97, it wouldn't have come out in end of 96. And the year in review wouldn't have happened until end of 97, early 98.
Right.
And the Maxx, so this is kind of what makes me think these were printed but not used, because now Maxx did use seals, right? In that 94 um,
Those rip.
autograph they did and stuff like that, they crimped them, right? And so
Yep.
I wish I had an image. I could find the image for that. So, and then having a Maxx president sign it or whatever it is, I can buy that. And then the seal also makes sense that it would be crimped, right?
Yeah. So it wouldn't be counterfeited. Right.
Right. But what doesn't match is the redemption expiring in
Six.
November of 96. So that makes me think that these were printed, they were going to do this, but Maxx going into bankruptcy and Upper Deck either getting the rights to the name and some of this other stuff, and they had these autographed or whatever, they just picked them up and then probably inserted them. I don't think they would have run with another redemption because it would have been probably too much to print or whatever. So, um, because Upper Deck did make their own certificate of authenticity and matching those numbers with the that Earnhardt out of 100. So I guess what I'm saying is, and you tell me what you think, is that even though I talk about this redemption, and it went for like $200 or whatever, that I don't think those redemptions were inserted because it wouldn't make any sense to put those redemptions in that 97 product. So those redemptions are necessarily, I won't say worthless, because they weren't used to be redeemed. So I think there might be live stuff in those two products then.
Oh, I totally agree. I think that when Maxx went out of business, like you say, they said, okay, we're going to scrap the program because we're in bankruptcy. Upper Deck picked it up. Those cards, those redemption cards that you talked about that have the expiration date of 1996, just kind of got out, like the Earnhardts got out after the bankruptcy. And so in a way, they're kind of a piece of history. I agree with you. I don't think they ever were put in packs because there's no way. I mean, it expires in 96. So there's no way that they could have been. So I think that promotion just got shelved, and Upper Deck picked it up once they acquired Maxx, and they said, the heck with it. We're not going to make redemptions. We're just going to put them in the product. And I agree with you. I think those cards are live in both of those products, and I'm gonna go out on a limb. It's probably a strong limb that there are a few of those still out there in the wild waiting to be discovered that have not been discovered yet.
Yeah, I would agree. So, if there were other redemptions for this product, they probably would have surfaced by now. But the fact, that
Mm-hmm.
I did lay eyes on it, and I was actually reading the verbiage off of it, that verbiage does not match with kind of the history of Upper Deck and, Maxx and an Upper Deck, whatever. So I would have thought if there was redemptions in these 97 products, we would have seen another redemption
Oh,
by
most
now.
definitely. Because I have a saved search for Earnhardt autographs that I look at every day, and I've never seen anything like that.
So it was kind of interesting to be able to pull some of that audio from that same, STP Petty there for 15K.
Yeah. So let's talk about the price, the finishing price, the final bid price of $10,630. As far as I know, and I think as far as you know, I'll go ahead and speak for you. We think and we believe here at NasCard Radio that this is a new world record for a autographed Dale Earnhardt trading card.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's not only that it's one of these 97s, but it was also graded a 9.5, and the auto was a 10, which probably all the autos are probably 10s. But you know, there are, you know, if you could have got a 9 or lower or whatever. So being a 9.5, I guess the only thing better would have been a PSA 10 and an auto 10, right? So
Hmm.
you know, that whole ladder rung, you know, the 10-10 being the top of the ladder. This one is, you know, still right there at the top.
Yeah. So imagine, let's just do a little speculation here. You know, a little bit of fantasy. Imagine if that had been a PSA 1010. Do you think that price would have been more than $10,630?
I don't know. I don't know. It seemed like it had some high um, folks chasing it. So you know, it takes two, it takes two to tango basically for you to bid for it to be bid up. You need two folks that are, you know, going, because I can't remember what the third rung was, or if it was 7,800 or not. So
That was me. I was the third under or the second underbidder.
yeah, so you know, like I said, you needed the two to bid it up. So I don't know. It all depends on how hungry everybody is to acquire one of these. I'm sure the Earnhardt documentary helps as well. Again, you know, we were kind of showing the pedigree there of where this comes from, right? It's just not an '88 Maxx autographed,
Yeah, that somebody took to Dale Earnhardt and just got him to sign it willy nilly.
right? And it's not one of the 999s with the certificate and the letter. And this, you know, again was a 9.5, 10, but also did have that little certificate of authenticity from Upper
Yeah.
Deck.
Yeah, and that's what made it for me. When I saw that, and then of course I went out to Beckett and I did a cert verification on that cert number, and that's what it showed on Beckett. So it all looked legit to me. That's why I decided, you know, what the heck, I'm going to throw caution to the wind and you know, possibly blow a lot of cash.
Well, and you know, some people were complaining about maybe the feedback from the seller, but again, this should go through eBay. So this card's going to be packaged up, sent to eBay for authentication. Uh, eBay's going to check it out, and so they're at the actual middleman handling the package, and then the funds will be released to the seller once I think possession is taken by the buyer.
Right. So yeah, I don't think that I wasn't worried about that part at all. And
I was just, you know, kind
yeah,
of clarify, because some people were saying because they didn't have 100% feedback and stuff like that. So this isn't like, you know, 5 years ago eBay where, you know, the money is there and then you might never get the card. So this, at least now with this system, helps with
yeah.
that.
So I do want to give a shout out to Kyle Katz because he was pretty much saying all along that this was going to be a 10K card, and everybody, he had a poll, and the majority of the people thought it was going to between $6,500 and $9,999, and it went over that 10K mark, and so I'm going to give him some applause for that. So way to go, Kyle Katz.
Yeah, he called it.
He definitely called it. Yeah, lots of cha-ching going on there. Um, there were how many bids? I think what 51 bids, something like
Yeah.
that. You know, I only bid. I bid that one time, and then I had my iPad. I had it set for 8,888 and 78. But by the time I pressed that, it had already gone over 10,000. So I like, well, I'm hosed. I'm not getting this card.
Well, I was a player, but I was way down the list.
You bid a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, huh?
Yeah, I sure did. You know, yeah.
But it's I don't know. I, this is kind of a NASCAR glamour card, I guess.
Well,
I
the
mean,
88 Max, the 88 Max Earnhardt, I think is so. This
yeah,
is so it falls under that. It's just, I'm gonna say, a variation. It is a version of that we know were legitimately produced and re-released in
mhm.
different packages. So, so yeah, it definitely, any of those three, I think, classify as a glamour card.
Yeah. It's not a Mount Rushmore card, but it definitely is a NASCAR glamour card. I agree with you.
Yeah, that was really incredible to think about that. So, and again, I think from your hot take last week that I talked about it before. I think the other day with you is yes, this was almost $11,000. That's a lot of money for most folks, but in the scheme of things, um, this is our high end. But in other sports, that's that's like your our rookie of the flavor of the week kind of a thing. And some of the
Chump change. Yeah.
yeah, if you talk about the Babe Ruth, the Ty Cobbs, um, the Mantles, and all this other Ted Williams and stuff like that. Picking them up for 11 grand, that's like a
Mhm.
bargain. So, I think, and back to your hot take that that NASCAR is affordable, and like everything else is. It's I think I can't remember exactly how you phrase it. If you
Yeah,
remember,
that NASCAR, everybody talks about NASCAR cards being undervalued. In my opinion, NASCAR cards are where they need to be. Everything else is overvalued. So yeah, our NASCAR radio hot take. That was my hot take last week. So, I just think all the other stick and ball sports are artificially inflated and hyped, because you can't tell me that these modern cards. I know this is pretty much. You could go back next week and listen to me say the same thing I'm saying now, but you can't. I just cannot envision any new shiny card that's worth $1 million or even $100,000 or even 10 maybe. But that's the world we live in, and more power to them.
yes, sir.
So so with this card showing this price of $10,630, we've already seen one card come out of the woodwork. Do you think we're going to have more come out of the
I
woodwork?
think so. I think there's actually another one or two.
I think we will. People are going, oh my God, I can sell a Dale Earnhardt autograph card for $10,000. Yes, please. So I think we are going to see some people put some money. I think we're going to see. It's kind of like when we saw back during the pandemic with the Richard Pettys. Remember, we hadn't seen hardly any Richard Pettys. Maybe one or two a year, maybe. Then all of a sudden, we had this flood of Richard Petty cards come out. So I think we're going to see something similar. I don't know if it's going to be a flood since there's only potentially 100 out there, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we went probably months, a while before we've seen these 97s out of 100. But and so we've seen a few of them. Like I said, I think with that kind of price tag, folks are looking. Hey, if I can get 8, 10,000, you know, they're going to put it out there and test it. So worst comes worst, they don't sell it. I think the one that was out there for 20,000 or 19,000 has come down to like 17,000 or something like that. So
Oh, they had $29,900.99 on that Beckett 9 Auto 9 of that Earnhardt card.
yeah, I think it's come down to like 17 or 18, 17,999. So the fishing exhibitions have started. It's like that with that State Farm or whatever that was
Yeah,
with the dollar, hey.
yeah, yeah.
So like I said, I always say this, right? So you can always come down, you can't go up, right? If you sell it for 8,000, you can't say, oh no, sell for 10,000, right? It's
True.
done. So you can go from 10 to 8, but
Yeah. So now I would put a price of probably, I know, maybe $5,000 to $6,000 on that 9.9. I think would be a fair price.
yeah, but
And who
it all
knows?
depends.
I
It all
might.
depends on the seller because the seller's probably wanting at least 10, they see the 10.6 and they're like, well, mine's so much better or whatever, not realizing exactly what's going on, right?
See, that would be one I would buy if I could get that card for maybe $4,000. I'd buy it, and I would definitely crack it myself. Because I was talking last night about, you know, I would be absolutely scared to death to crack that card out because anything could happen. But
It's like operation. It takes a steady hand and a set of cojones.
funny bone. Oh, eh.
Exactly. So
But I'm impressed. I'm happy to see something like that. Damn it! I wish I could have won because I really I told my wife, she gave me the authorization that And I could have probably gone over and bid extra, but it's like, oh man, that's just a lot of money, and I'm on a fixed income now, so that's hard to swallow.
Yeah, I'm sure going to the national and everything else. So, and you never know, you might maybe you run into a few at the national. I'm sure people are like checking their inventory, like, oh, I got to take one to the national. So,
That's true.
maybe 'cause we talk about this all the time, like going to the national. Like, yeah, if I want to buy 552 mantles, I can buy them, but I can't buy one 72 STP Richard Petty because nobody's got them. So, maybe they'll have a few of these signed Earnhardt. So.
So didn't you say that you saw a 72 STP Richard Petty at the national once? I've never seen one.
I don't think I ever saw it. No, I saw I think it was Emo Langley or something like
Okay,
that.
so you saw a 72 STP, but it was not Petty. But I've never seen a 72 STP, period.
Yeah,
So that tells you something right there.
yeah, maybe it was Buddy Baker, but it was one of the guys who was not Petty.
Yeah.
No, and that was a long time ago. That was early 2010s.
Wow. Maybe before. Well, I've known you since what, 2011?
Yeah, it was around that. Might have been that first show in Cleveland or whatever.
Yeah. Then I must have missed it. But yeah, congrats to the seller. Congrats to the buyer. And I also posted out online on Twitter that if you were the winner of this card, DM me. So if you are the winner of this card and you're watching this, DM either Val or myself. We would love to have you on the show to talk about this and find out what kind of things you have in your collection and what you like to collect. Because apparently you do like Dale Earnhardt.
Well, and the other part is maybe they don't want to be, but if they'd contact us, maybe we do an interview and keep their identity hidden or whatever. So
We could change the voice to this. And, I bought it. I spent a lot of money.
we could do it by question and answer on by email or whatever instead of if they don't want to be on because not everybody wants to be on the
Yeah,
show.
well,
So
it could be. Well, I can't get off the screen. I don't see, but it could be. Somebody off the screen just talking.
right. So, and I really enjoyed doing the watch party. I'm hoping maybe some of these other big cards will come back out. We'll do some more watch parties. That was a lot of fun.
That was
Everybody
a
in the
lot of
chats,
fun.
when that and reliving that there the last 30 seconds and then uh going from the 6,500 to 8 to 10,600 like bam last 10 seconds. So a lot of fun.
I look back on it now. It's like, man, I wish I had got that card. What the heck? But it wasn't meant to be. But you know what? Lee Petty was meant to be.
Yes. Yep.
So anyway, so
All
yeah,
right.
I guess that's all we've got for that. Everybody out there, leave some comments and let's keep the discussion going on this because this was a big deal. We just don't see this every day. Now, do you want to play that audio about the $15,000 for the Lee Petty? I mean, not Lee Petty for the Richard Petty, or no?
Probably not because I think I talk about the 72 STPs but what I did want to highlight was about the redemption and also that it did sell for 15,000 and it was a week or 2 weeks after the Las Vegas race, so it was March of 2021. So
So yeah, that's the biggest NASCAR card we know about is the 72 STP Richard Petty PSA 9 for 15K.
and I also talk about how 2021 Dunmers was out back in March.
Yeah, Panini. I know Misha's going to watch this and he's going to go, yeah, I shouldn't talk like that. But let's let's get some things out on time. I know it's not his fault. I know there's a lot of extenuating circumstances that are beyond his control, but
I know if it was up to Misha, he'd be at the
oh yeah,
printer cranking it out, getting the
no
papers
kidding.
flying through.
Yes, he would. He wouldn't be
So
messing around. Uh, the stuff would already be on the shed. We'd already be in probably prison by now or something, instead of or getting
yeah,
close
we'd
to
be
a
in
prison
Chronicles or
release.
Select or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all. We head to King's Court.
Yeah, I need to get my pewter ready here for King's Court.
Trying to think, there's nothing else. Yeah, we did the Zilisch. Okay, yeah. So, are you ready?
I think so.
All right.
All righty then. Look at my hair. change to the crown. Let's see. Do I look all right? Yeah, I guess so. All right. I do have some hair hanging down on okay, there we go. Got it. All right. So this week's King's Court, we're going to start out with honorable mention number 1. And this was actually on July 9th. It's a 2025 Parkside Colton Herta driver suit patch card relic number 2 IndyCar is what it says. This card went out for bidding actually, and it ended at $215.50 with 27 bids. I like Colton Herta.
Yeah, that's nice. So that's a relic.
Yeah, that's a cool
Cause
relic. I call it a mem card. I know there's a lot of people out there that call them relics, but I just call them memorabilia card, mem card.
So let's see if it says what race it was. No, but it does say that it was race worn. So
yeah, that's awesome. The Shell logo, that's pretty neat. And of course, their fire suits are like the NASCAR fire suits now. Everything's either silk screened or ironed on or whatever. No embroidery.
nope. Save on. I guess saving on some of that cost. Then I guess this what's called iron on is flame retardant. So
yeah,
not flame retarded, but flame retardant.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this is out of 100. And I don't even think did they mention that in the description? No, they didn't mention that in the description. It's out of 100.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's a whole lot of those. So that's a cool card. I like Colton Herta. There were rumors a couple years ago, I think, that he might go to F1, but I guess that just didn't materialize. But very cool card. I like it.
Nice patch.
Oh, indeed. All right. Honorable mention number 2. This was on the 5th of July, 2024 Donruss NASCAR Richard Petty. And you know what it is. We love gold. There you go. Gold Velocity Auto, 7 of 10. They were asking $300 for this bad boy, which I like that card. Somehow I missed that one. But it ended up going for $200 with best offer.
Let's look at it. It's like it's far back inside that little display box, lit display box.
Yes, it's a very dark image, and it's kind of tilted back, so you really don't get the full effect,
right,
of how nice that card really looks. Also, it's number 7 of 10, and of course, I'm always figuring out these stupid eBay 101 things, and of course, the 7 could represent his 7 championships.
That's where I knew you were going. Yep.
Yeah, you know me too well now with these dumb numerology things I do. But it's a cool card for $200. That's not bad.
No, it's already a PSA 10. And like I said, I bet you that looks amazing in person. I can see those like little lightning things lit up right there. So I would imagine in hand it is amazing.
Oh, it is. I love the gold cards.
Very nice.
Super cool. All right. Next up is our Joker of the Week. This is on the 8th of July. It's a 1992 tracks Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty autograph. Not autograph, but it's an autograph. Please see scan for details. So before you can look at the price. It went out for bidding. It ended at $228.50 with 8 bids. But this card's pretty beat up. I don't know what happened to it. I'm wondering if it may have been in one of those screw down acrylic cases.
Yep, I bet you it was. That was a good call, because that corner right there, that screams
Yeah, screen screw down.
Because I can't remember the gloss on those. It has some gloss on it, right?
Yeah, just a little. I think it's got just a little bit, but it's not enough for the signatures to bubble up.
Yeah, because when we look at, I'm sorry, I know I'm going all over the place here. So we have some edge there, it looked like, and definitely right there, possible paper loss, right? So
Oh yeah,
then I don't know. That might have been from stacking them on top of each other when they signed them, because that right there by the S and looks like part of like Earnhardt or something like that, or so maybe that's what that's from. Because when they sign them and then just stack them on top of each other, it
right.
could be a little bit. But let me look here. Those corners look pretty good.
Yeah, it's that one side, and then if you're holding the card in landscape mode, the top right looks like it's got some a little bit of paper loss. Go up, right? See right there, right there.
I see. I don't know about that because I wonder if it's the hat. I have to look at another image to. But that bottom right, definitely.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's got
I see it right there by the hat. It looks like.
right. Yes.
I was thinking it was the corner, but yeah, the top there. And then also on that left hand side too, possibly.
Yeah, I got a feeling that this was in a screw down, and when it came out, it didn't come out very nicely.
Yeah, well, that was part of the. You got to remember the time, right? So this was pulled in '92, and probably what kind of supplies were back in '92? Those
Yep,
acrylics,
those
those big
acrylic screw
screw
downs.
downs. Yeah, because you would have treasured and loved this card because this was one of the Mac Daddies, and you would have put it in that like 1 inch or 2 inch thick.
Oh yeah, it'd been a paperweight. That thing would have. You're right. It'd been like a 2 inch screw down, and
Yeah,
those things had no indentions.
for the
They
card,
weren't
right?
concave to put the card in. They were just completely flat. So you were screwing it down right on, and smashing the card literally.
Exactly. And then if that gloss or if it was any kind of moisture, anything that it adhered to that acrylic, and then because the 72 STP is notorious for that too. So
Oh yeah. Um, but for $228, you're getting two of the greatest drivers of all time's autographs. I mean, card condition aside. So,
yeah, you
you know,
take this and send it to PSA and just have it authenticated.
exactly. SMRT. You're right.
We've done this. This ain't my first show or my
Well,
200th. Yeah. So yeah, we've been doing this a while. So again, we try to help, offer some insights and
exactly.
for folks who are new to the hobby or maybe not have run into this kind of situation, and you're at a show and you see one of these in a big screw down holder, you want the deal or whatever to be able to open that up and make sure that card is not stuck. Now this could all been avoided if it was in a penny sleeve and then put into a acrylic, but hindsight.
Yeah. Hindsight is definitely 2020. Um, but you really can't go wrong with this. This is definitely a NASCAR glamour card for sure. We have quite a few glamour cards. This is another example of that.
That's a
So
beaut.
it's cool, man. I love that card. I love mine.
Same here.
So all right. So let's move on from there to our Jack of the Week. This is on the 7th of July. It's a 2022 National Treasures Racing Jumbo Patch Auto booklet. Jesse Little, one of one. They were asking $299 for this. They took a best offer of $200 for this card.
Wow.
So not bad, really.
I love the embroidery on that.
Oh God, yeah, man. I love it. I love it. Anytime you get one of the series patches like this, like the Cup Series or the NASCAR logo or anything like that. Um, those are always some of the best ones in my opinion, except for maybe the nameplate. So this is an awesome card, man. Look at that.
And you got to call out Panini for putting that patch in there perfectly.
Yes, yes. You know what? We're going to give them a golf clap. So, good job, Panini, on that one. They did a great job. But it's a really cool card. I mean, for $200, I think it's totally worth it.
Oh, I would agree. It's like I said, it's a sponsor patch. It's great.
Yeah, I'm not a big Jesse Little collector, but I know there's people out there that have their own drivers that they collect, and I'm sure, and also there's people that collect like the series patches like this.
Yeah, I misspoke when I was talking about sponsor packs, but series patch, yes, that is awesome. Yeah, you're right, and people just collect those.
Yeah, so that's really cool. I love that. So, congrats if you bought it, man. You did good. I like that.
Yep.
All right, next up is our Queen of the Week. This is on the 8th of July, and you're never going to guess who it is, who our Queen is. Actually, it's Queens. I forgot about that. It's Haley Deegan, Tony Breidinger, dual auto 2022 National Treasures, number 2 of 5. And of course, it's on card. It says they were asking $489.99, and the best offer that they took was $250 for
Oh
that.
wow.
So I think that's cheap.
Yeah, that's almost like half price.
Yeah, I think because Tony Breidinger, she's on the rise. Hopefully one day Haley will come back. You just don't know. But Haley Deegan's market has been strong, so this is a strong card, and it's only out of 5 for for $250. I think the buyer did a good job of picking that one up.
Yeah, I think so. It's like Quantum Game. I don't know. Maybe they don't deal with a lot of NASCAR, or they just wanted to get rid of it. But I, yeah, like 250. I feel like they just kind of jettisoned it.
I think they gave it away. I think the seller left a lot of money on the table. I think they could have gotten you know at least $400 for it probably. So that's a cool card, man. You got Haley and Tony on both on the same card with on card SIGs. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, not sticker. Yeah, you can't get much better.
Yeah, cool. And I think that they both have their arms crossed too. Check that out. They're going, will somebody just buy this card?
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Next, we have our King of the Week. This is on the 7th of July, 2001 Dale Earnhardt Sr. double burner, number 91 of 100, fire suit and glove, mint conned. They were asking $400 for this, Val. I'm gonna go ahead and what's going on. Dun 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 dun. Click.
Click.
Somebody bought it for $400.
Wow.
It's just what we've been talking about. All of his mem cards, his autos, they're all seeing a price bump right now.
There's
Because
not much out there, right? They're not
you're
making
right.
anything new.
Well, and the collectors, I'll say this: the collectors that are collecting, him or collecting NASCAR in general, get a Dale Earnhardt auto or a Dale Earnhardt mem card or a numbered Dale Earnhardt card. You're probably not going to be selling it. It probably goes into your collection and it's going to stay there for a long, long, long time. So you just don't see them, as many as you just don't see very many.
As I tell Misha, they get into people's collections and they don't come out.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. So yeah, somebody just went click and bought it for $400, and it's a cool card. I remember getting, not Earnhardt, but I remember getting double burners and triple burners and all those back in the day. And anytime I didn't care who it was. It's like, holy crap, I got a double burner. It could be like Grissom or somebody, but still, it was cool, to get one.
Oh
So you
yeah,
get,
the 2 and 3s with the lug nut and stuff. Yeah, they're
oh yeah, I was excited.
yeah.
Cool card. Congrats to the buyer. Great card. You can't go wrong with Earnhardt. You just can't. So,
Very nice.
I love it. All right. So next up is to the week. This is also on the 7th of July. Jeff Gordon, auto AARP patch booklet from 2013, 5-star. It's a 1 of 1. Maybe this is what I need. But it's the AARP card.
That's what I was gonna say. All the old folks buying the AARP patches, right? We're talking about people buying series sponsor or series patches and people buying AARP.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, it's a one of one. You can see where it ended up. It went for out for bid and it ended at $799.99 with 37 bids. So
Impressive.
pretty strong.
Very strong, I think.
I think so too. I like that card. Um, Makes me want to go to the cafeteria and get something to eat. But but it's Jeff Gordon's auto looks pretty good. It's got that dang sticker on it. That's the only thing I don't like about Jeff Gordon and Junior and some of these autos back in the day with those stickers, because we've seen that some of those stickers make some of that ink bleed. And but PSA will grade those, and they do take that sticker into account. They do and they don't.
Right.
It's on there, and I think even if it's got a little issue, they kind of go, hey, that's because of the sticker, and they'll give it the appropriate grade that it should deserve without the sticker. So, but really cool, Jeffy Pooh, 101. You really almost can't go wrong with that.
No, see, I thought that was raised, but it looks like it's somewhat flat because he went over on the left and then went over on the right.
It is flat. It's just got those shadows in there to make it look like it's maybe a cut.
Right.
But they did a good job. You have to give Press Pass their due. They did a good job.
Oh, yeah. I'm not taking anything away from them. It just was Gordon when he signed it. That was all.
Yeah, his autograph kind of gets that real squishy, slanty stuff. All right. So here we go. The big dog in the house for this week. We just got done talking about it, and of course, this was yesterday on the 9th of July, 1998 Press Pass Stealth Race. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm looking at the wrong thing. Well, actually, how did I do that? Wow. Okay, I actually have the wrong description in here, and I don't know how I did that. But it is the 1988 Max Charlotte number 99 Dale Earnhardt Sr. BGS 9.5, 37 of 100, super rare card. And as we all know, that card went out for bid, and it ended at $10,603 with 51 bids. And I was one of them, and Bell was one of them.
Yeah.
So
so the center, quartering, edges, and surface were all 9.5s. And you can see here it came with the certificate of authenticity, has the from Upper Deck, has the Upper Deck little hologram there.
Yeah, that's a cool card, man. We just got done talking about it. I mean, I don't know what else we can say except NASCAR Glamour card, and maybe some more of these will come out, and maybe we'll get the bid on some more. But I think getting a 1010 is going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but it says,
I'm turning my head.
But we obtained directly from Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, it says that they didn't have a representative watching the signing, but they got it straight from Dale Earnhardt. But you and I've seen enough of those. We know it's real, and plus Beckett authenticated it.
Oh yeah. I was just saying about the part about from Earnhardt. If you look at that auto, it's very similar to the the 99 and 2000 press pass signings and stuff that he did. So yeah, I'm not disputing the auto. I was just looking at the cert a little more. That was all.
Yeah. So as we all have talked about, this is a new track record for any auto card from Dale Earnhardt that we know of. I mean, there may have been some private sales out there that we're unaware of, but publicly, this is the big dog right here. I hope to own something like that one of these days. Out of that 100. So, but for right now, it's no dice for me. But really cool, man. Great King's Court this week, especially with the Dale Earnhardt card.
Yeah, really, really cool this week. So a lot of fun, like I said, with all that and the hoopla around that. And That was really awesome. So
Yeah, go back and watch the watch party. If you weren't on there with us last night, go back and watch it. It was fun. We had a good time, and there's a lot of good information in there. There's a lot of collecting nuggets and trivia nuggets and things like that we were talking about too. So check it
yeah,
out.
talked a little bit about it today with the different products and stuff, but I did go a little deeper into that before the auction ended. So, but anyway, so anything else before we go?
Yeah, I'll do this right now. Tag we love gold. There you go. Yep, there you go. Hashtag it's so shiny, and hashtag PSA 10. Check out the Racing Card Hall of Fame at racingcardhof.com. And that's it for me.
All right. Well, for me, Logan, thanks for watching and listening to the show. That's all I'm going to say, I guess. So we'll be back next week. Got some races going on. And we're out of here. And we will catch everybody next week.